What's up, gentlemen of MGTOW? I told everybody in the group that I was going to make a video of what turned me into a MGTOW. Well, first of all, I just wanted to let everyone know that the truth is back and it's here to stay this time. And that is, that is my YouTube channel. It's called The Truth. And I hope everybody does not mind with me the way that I'm about to do this, because, you know, instead of just speaking straight out of the mind, instead of stuttering and fumbling words and all that stuff and editing out this and that, I would rather write it down and read it to you, because I have a fuck ton of reasons that I am now going MGTOW. So if you don't mind, allow me to read this to you that I have wrote down. Okay? Because this is really important. This is what turned me into a MGTOW. So let me read it out to you. When I first started this channel, I said I supported MGTOW, but I was not 100% ready to give up on women, because without both men and women, the human species will no longer exist. And not only that, I just did not want to be alone. I just wanted to be happy, and I thought having a woman in my life would make me happy. You know, someone I could start a family with. I wanted to be a loving father to my kids, in which I have none, thank God. And I wanted to be a loyal husband to a woman who truly loved me for who I am and not what I have. But I now see that those were dreams of fantasy land. So that's all I really wanted out of a relationship, and I didn't want to give up on that, because I know that there is good and bad in everyone, both men and women, despite race. So, to get on with what made me go MGTOW was, the more that I pursued this dream, this fantasy, this figment of my imagination, the more stress I found myself enduring. I have been hurt so many times. I have tried to be loyal. I was raised to be kind, open-minded, respectful, a gentleman, you name it. But the more I tried, the more women shit on me. It was either the friend zone, or I was too nice, or I was too fat, or I was too skinny. There always seemed to be an excuse as to why they didn't want to be with me. And of course, it started making me bitter. It started giving me depression and anxiety issues, to the point that I started having suicidal thoughts. It made me feel worthless, like no one cared, like I did not matter to anyone in the world, like no one would even care if I died. It brought me to a therapist, in which also turned out to be a woman. And this was my teenager years that I'm describing to you right now. So the female therapist was no help. If anything, she made it worse, and I lashed out at her. And I told her that she didn't give a fuck about me. So then she decided to ask me why I said that she did not care about me. And I told her, because if you wasn't getting paid to be here, you wouldn't be. And that if she truly cared about anyone, that she would be doing this for free. I told her that I have obviously sunk as low as it gets, to the point that I have to pay someone to pretend to give a fuck about me. And I found it so ironic that this lady who keeps talking about self-control and getting control over your emotions all of a sudden had no control over her emotions, to the point that she no longer wanted to be my therapist. Okay, so I just found that so interesting when that happened. So, after that, I got with a chick who only wanted me for my money. After that, I got with a chick who pretended to want to be with me so she could get her friends into my house to later break in and rob my house. I've had a woman pretend to take interest in me to get closer to one of my friends. Then I got into this relationship with a woman in which I will not mention her name. The relationship lasted for 3 years. She was a Hispanic chick. She was fun to talk to and be around. We had great times, but I was so used to being screwed over, I couldn't even tell her that I loved her. You know, not even if I wanted to, I was so bad at that point, I didn't even feel right using the word love in a sentence. But eventually, she broke that wall, and I dropped my guard, and I gave her a chance, and it got to the point I asked her to marry me. And she said yes. But the very next day, I caught her in a threesome with 2 other guys. She never knew I found out. I was going to surprise her, and, well, guess what? I was the one who got the surprise. So we broke up, and that turned into an argument with her pointing fingers at me as if I was the reason she cheated, as if everything was my fault. What women don't understand is that no one is making you fuck someone else. You did that because you wanted to do that. So we went our separate ways, and yes, I turned into a bitch and cried over it because that was 3 years out of my life that I could not get back. 3 years of effort for nothing. You know, that really got to me. So after that, I did become a dog, the bad boy, the asshole, and I started doing women how they did me. The funny thing was, instead of me crying over them and chasing them, they started crying over me and started chasing me and chasing after me. But honestly, I hated it because I became the very thing that I hated, and I grew this mentality of, why should I apologize for becoming a monster when no one apologized for making me this way? But I eventually started wanting to stay single, and so I did for a good while. I got to the point that I wanted to try dating again. You know, after I went through that phase in my life, I wanted to start dating again. So now I'm going to skip forward to the ones that really started making me go MGTOW, because some of my past relationships is not what made me go MGTOW. So now I want to focus on the ones that did make me go MGTOW. So let me go ahead and get to that. So check this out. Last year, I met this homeless chick and decided to help her out and take her in, and I figured maybe if I help her, she will see that I'm a nice guy who actually has the ability to care about another person other than himself. And we got together. Well, very soon I found out she's got a ton of baggage that comes with her. I found out she was autistic, in which later I found out she lied about that. While she was with me, I found out she was using this other guy for money. While she was with me, I found out she owed money to this complex that she previously lived at. Then I found out later she was an actual certified nutcase. She was lazy. She would not pick up after herself. She turned my bathroom into a Walmart female section explosion, but yet had the nerve to complain about me leaving the seat up in the bathroom. And the one day I didn't clean something up, she went and told people where I live that I was lazy. And of course it turned into women bashing men. So then I tried to break up with her. Then she started injuring herself with my door. Yes, she started injuring herself with my door. Then ran to my kitchen and threatened to cut herself and blame it on me. Then, while I was gone, I had my friend listen in to my room while I was gone, and she was on the phone with someone talking about rape. After that, I really tried to get her out of my life. And guess what happened whenever I tried to get her out of my life? Well, she started claiming squatter rights on me, so by law I was forced to let her stay. So I had to fake moving out of my own place to get her out of my life. and in which the next day she was already with somebody else. But I also found $500 out of my money missing, and I had no way to prove that she stole it. Yeah. Okay. So so after that, you know, the next day she was already in another guy's house. Her and him only lasted a week. I tried to warn the guy, but you know how dumbass men are when it comes to pussy. They are ready to kill a guy over some pussy, so I said fuck it and let him deal with her. If you're gonna be a fucking simp, then be a fucking simp. Plain and simple. You can't negotiate with them. You can't talk to them. You can't try to tell them shit. You just gotta let them learn. Alright, so then, after I got her out of my life, later on, I met up with another chick who was fine as hell. I admit she was fine as hell, but the issue was she turned out to be a fucking meth head. Then she started questioning me, trying to find out if I'm a cop. You know, I was just like, no. Fuck this. No. I'm out. I ended that very quickly. So then I met up with a chick who was ex-military. And that had my interest because I figured, you know, she would have been taught loyalty, dedication, honor, respect. But that turned out to be non-existent. And I lost interest because she turned out to only be about money. You know, like most women. So then I recently, as in like just a week or two, you know, just like last week. Woo! Just last week, I recently met a chick close by who came up to me calling me cute. So I tried her out, and the more shit that came out of her mouth on our date, the more I just wanted to go home. She was telling me how argumentative she is. She was telling me when she gets mad, she tends to take it out on whoever is closest to her, and which would have been me if I got with her. Then she was telling me on the first date that she's been with 15 men this year. 15 fucking guys. Right? Then she's telling me how she still talks to her ex. Then she tells me that her and her ex still hang out and that he still comes over to visit her. Then she tells me she's daddy's little princess, and which tells me she's a spoiled bitch. Then she tells me she's fixing to use her dad for his money because she's daddy's little princess and he can't say no to his little girl. She, after the date, then tells me that I'm her boyfriend after the first date. There wasn't no, hey, do you want to be my boyfriend? Or me saying I want to be your boyfriend, that is. You know, none of that. She just literally claimed me like I was fucking property, automatically assuming that I am her fucking boyfriend. And that's after the first date. The next day, she's telling me how she almost fucked a guy last month. Then she tells me she fucked my neighbor a couple weeks ago. Then she messages me telling me that she wants to suck my dick and we've only had one date. And on top of all that, she's always calling her mother a bitch and every name in the book. So I friend zoned her ass. She gets pissed, then all of a sudden she wants to be friends with benefits. She still texts me, but I don't even reply today. I really don't. I can't respect somebody who can't respect themselves. I can't respect somebody who has no respect for their parents. I can't have respect for somebody who has no respect for anybody. You know? No. So, that's basically over with. And, to be honest with you, the more I watch this Me Too movement and the feminist movement, the more I appreciate being single, the more I love my freedom, the more I'm glad I do not have a woman in my life. Ever since I left women alone, I notice I have more money and I'm drama free. I used to hate being alone, and I could not stand being alone. But these days, I don't even have a desire for sex very much anymore. And it's not a libido issue. I don't see value in a woman. I don't see women acting like women. I no longer want kids, and I no longer want marriage, because marriage is a trap. It literally has no benefit for a man, but that's for another video. I'm tired of the games, and honestly, I just hate how women are today in America. They are superficial, they're needy, insecure, jealous, greedy, lazy, manipulative, entitled, spoiled, ungrateful, narcissistic parasites that live off of a male host. They bleed the men's pockets dry of all resources and then move on to the next male host until he has nothing left. Then they give the next guy a fucking sob story talking about how much of an asshole her ex was to her, or claims he cheated on her. I mean, honestly, that seems to be every bitch's excuse today on this earth. Every single bitch on earth today says, when you ask them why they are single, it's always, oh, well, he cheated on me, he was just an asshole, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just there like, wow, is this a universal excuse for women? That's the only thing you have to say is, oh, he's an asshole or he cheated? Really? You don't come across that much with men. You ask them why they're single. Yeah, they'll say that a bitch cheated on them or something like that, but they have other excuses too. Oh, I got fed up with her shit. She was a nagging bitch. You name it. I mean, wow. Well, to be honest with you, I'm just fed up with these bitches. They don't want equality. They want to be superior in every way. And I'm no longer going to be a host to a parasite. And now that is why I am fully going MGTOW. So, if you like this video, understand where I'm coming from, then please give me a like, comment, subscribe, share my video. Let me know what you think about it. And I will catch you in my next video.